it wouldn't be too long ago that the last time, maybe few years ago, 5-6 years ago, if somebody from your house had to make an electricity bill payment, somebody would actually have to go in line with the payment, wait in queue, put the money in the drop box, and that's how you would pay for electricity. If you had a prepaid phone, you would actually have to scratch, put the number in your phone, and that's how your phone would be recharged. All of these kind of inconveniences were phased out with the entrance of one of India's most successful companies over the last decade. I'm talking about a company whose slogan everybody would have heard, Paytm Karo. Paytm is India's largest unicorn today. A unicorn, by the way, for those who don't know what it means, is a privately held company which is worth $1 billion or more. So in rupee terms, if a privately held company is worth 7,000 crores or more, that is a unicorn. And to explain you all how big, massive and impactful Paytm is, just listen to the list of its investors, because investors are a testament to how strongly they believe this company can make an impact to a large population of people. Investors such as SoftBank and financials, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, even renowned individuals like Ratan Tata, they have all invested in Paytm because they know the impact that this company is going to make on India. So today let me take you all through the entire start to end journey of Paytm, starting from 2010. In 2010, already before 2010, right, before Paytm came, there were already other companies such as MPay, OboPay, Times of India's Wallet 365. These kind of companies had already done or were doing the same thing that Paytm had done. But they were not either doing it properly or they had failed to capture the attention and the interest of consumers. So in 2010, Paytm started. It was started by Vijay Shekhar Sharma, the founder, under a parent company named 197 Communications. Now, Vijay Shekhar Sharma started this with an investment of $2 million. And he had one goal in mind. He wanted to capture consumers, or it's called a growth strategy, at all costs. He was not worried about making a lot of money in the beginning. He was more playing Jeff Bezos' Amazon's game, where he was going for market capture versus initial profitability. Vijay Shekhar Sharma knew that if he got enough people to become aware about Paytm and they realized that it's easier to use than probably actual cash or even a bank transaction, there was a place for Paytm to become one of India's biggest companies. So what did he do? He went to as many people as possible from two sides. One is the people who had to make payments and one is the people who had to receive payments. So to give you an example, let's say I went shopping for clothes and I went to a mall, I bought something, and when I'm at the counter, I remove my wallet and I make the payment through cash. Example. Now I can remove my digital wallet, which is Paytm, make the payment as long as he also has Paytm. So Vijay Shekhar Sharma or overall Paytm had a mammoth task. They had to reach as many Indians as possible, as many vendors as possible, shopkeepers, businesses, companies who wanted to take money from people. He told all of them, keep Paytm. You will have people who will come to you and pay you money through Paytm and not prefer bank transactions, not prefer cash. So that's the journey that he started. This was in 2010. Now, they started growing, and in 2014, right? So 2010 they started. In 4 years, they found a really powerful growth hack. A growth hack is a shortcut which is basically allowed. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's a legitimate shortcut to growth, and that came in the form of cashbacks. Now, so cashbacks earlier were mainly offered by e-commerce companies. Why? So for example, again, I went on Flipkart, I went on Myntra, I went on Amazon. I went and I purchased something for 1,000 rupees and there was a 10% cashback, which means Flipkart, for example, when I pay something for 1,000 rupees, they give me 100 rupees back. Why? So number one, it incentivizes me to purchase something because I'm getting a discount, and B, it makes me want to go back to Flipkart because they're giving me these kind of incentives. But there was one flaw in this plan. Flipkart would give me 100 rupees, which would directly come into my bank. Now, whether I went back to Flipkart or not, Flipkart can't do anything about it. It's my choice. I can spend the 100 rupees elsewhere. So, cashback for e-commerce platforms was becoming ineffective because I was not really getting more incentivized to go to the same platform for anything else except for the discount. Cashback needed a pull factor. So, enter Paytm. What did Paytm realize? Paytm realized that from Paytm's perspective, right? If I paid Flipkart through Paytm and Flipkart gave me my cashback in my Paytm account only, not in my bank account. Understand the difference? I have a Paytm wallet, so the cashback can come in my wallet, or it can be transferred like earlier into my bank. Paytm decided let it come into the wallet, which means I have to, if I want to spend that 100 rupees, I have to reuse Paytm. And that caused a ripple effect for consumers to keep using Paytm. So now I can take the Paytm cashback, maybe use it again on Flipkart, maybe go to another company and use it, but I have to use Paytm. And Paytm was starting to win at the point when people started frequently using Paytm. So cashback was one of the major growth hacks. And it's very important, I've explained this in another video. There is something called the cost of acquisition and there is something called the lifetime value of a consumer. Now guys, the cost of, so for Paytm to ensure that I would start using the wallet, it had to do a lot of different advertising for me to finally accept. It had to do actual right in my eyes advertising, from TV ads to billboards to digital marketing ads. It had to make sure that wherever I go, I would see vendors having Paytm allowed here, Paytm here, Paytm here. It would make me realize, I would start hearing my friends doing it, and it made me feel, okay, look, the whole world is using it, let me also install Paytm. To get a customer to install Paytm, they had to incur a lot of costs, right? So that is called the cost of acquisition. Now, Paytm has spent a lot of money to get me on its platform. Now I have to use Paytm enough to make sure that Paytm eventually lands up making more money than what they spent in acquiring me. So hypothetically, all of the money that they spent in acquiring me, let's say technically, for example's purpose, is 500 rupees. If after 500 rupees I became a Paytm customer, I should ideally use Paytm enough that Paytm makes more than 500 rupees for its entire investment in buying me out, worth it. So that means the cost of acquisition should always be lower than the lifetime value. So that is what Vijay Shekhar Sharma and Paytm were going after, and cashback made it much easier. They had to ensure that Flipkart and Myntra and other kind of e-commerce platforms were all allowing transactions to happen through Paytm. It was anyways easier to transact through Paytm than through a bank. Cash on delivery probably is another option. And Paytm started seeing a surge in its users that time onwards. That was in 2014. Then in 2015, just a quick milestone, they introduced Paytm Payments Bank, where they did everything that a bank does except for give out loans. Today, Paytm Payment Bank has 58 million, that's 5.8 crore users in India. It's a lot of people. The final straw to win for Paytm was pulled in 2016 with demonetization being announced by Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. 80% of the currency notes were abolished, and that meant everybody was forced to start using digital payments. Now, two parts. Number one, Paytm was already doing well. It had prepared itself that in the eventuality that some opportunity like this comes, they should be ready. And they had enough infrastructure, enough brilliant people working on it, enough people in the market who had heard about Paytm, that when a customer after demonetization thought of paying digitally, they would think of Paytm. And second, Paytm's reaction to this was executed beautifully. If you'll remember, demonetization was announced at 8 p.m. in the night. The next morning, there was an ad, front page ad in some of the newspapers which said, "Ab ATM nahi, Paytm karo." They started attacking people in terms of marketing, left, right, center. Everyone who was not even using started using Paytm. It already had 125 million users. That's 12.5 crore people using it. But from demonetization, in 1 year, they went from 12.5 crores to 28 crores. They more than doubled in 1 year. That is one of the biggest, best boosts a company can get, which is A, mandatory by the government, and B, it is actually helping its country in becoming more digitalized, which is anyways the way to the future. So Paytm took immense opportunity and it just blew from there onwards. It was already at 12.5 crores, 125 million users till then. And then with demonetization, they could more than double in less than a year. So let's talk about what is happening as of now. So 2019, right? Till now they have 35 crore people, 350 million users using Paytm. They have the ability to do 5,000 transactions per second. That's really impressive, right? They've also tried different things which they have not succeeded well in, such as Paytm Mall, where they tried competing with the Amazons and the Flipkarts of the world. They realized that it's such a heavy burn business vertical, and by burn I mean they spend so much money to acquire customers, and the path to profitability is so far in the future that Paytm said, you know what, the mall is not our thing, let's stick to financial services. And as of today, it is India's largest unicorn. Largest unicorn at a valuation of $16 billion. The only unicorn before Paytm, which was the biggest, Paytm was second till a certain point of time, was because Flipkart was ahead of Paytm in terms of valuation. And now it is only at the helm of the Indian private sector, it is Paytm. So finally, coming to today and hopefully the future of Paytm, right? Paytm wants to now diversify for quite a few reasons which I'll explain. And they want to diversify into things such as micro loan disbursement. They've already entered into the mutual fund services. They want to get into insurance. They are probably going to start, they are becoming a full-time broker and will compete with the likes of Zerodha and Upstocks. And it's basically diversifying more than just being India's #1 wallet. What do you guys think? You all have all used, I'm guessing, Paytm as well as other platforms. According to you, do you all feel Paytm is going to win this game eventually? Do you think it will be overtaken by companies such as Google or maybe Amazon or Apple? Let us know. And I hope that this gave you all some more food for thought as to what Paytm really is besides its wallet and its journey, and how being prepared for certain times, which when those times hit, such as demonetization for Paytm, literally overnight, if you are ready, your entire future can be changed. Thank you so much.